let us discuss the torque. So what is torque? If we talk about the torque is the turning or twisting action of a body about an axis of rotation due to the any force F factor. So whatever is the role of force in translation, same role is played by the torque in rotational motion. So it is a force which is required if you want to move an object. Similarly, if you want to rotate an object, then you need some torque. So how do you define torque? So if we say about the definition of torque, we'll say the magnitude of torque is equal to the product of the force and into the shortest distance between the force and the axis of rotation. If we want to define it vector wise, we'll say that torque vector is equal to force vector R cross F. It is R cross F. Now it is a vector product, so it is going to give me a vector result. So it is a vector quantity. So torque is a vector quantity, and if you want to get just the magnitude, then that is RF sine theta. Where what is theta? Theta is angle between our R vector and F vector. So this is a case where this is our axis of rotation, and from here there is a point where we are applying. This is the point of application. Where a force capital F vector has been applied at an angle theta from R vector. So this is R vector. So this is the direction of R vector, and we are applying F vector at an angle theta from here. Now we will say that it is RF sine theta. What is theta? Theta is angle between R vector and F vector. At the same time, we can also write it is R times F sine theta. So what is R times F sine theta? If we say that R times F sine theta, see, F sine theta is this perpendicular component of the force, and this component is nothing but F sine theta. So I'll say the distance of the point of application from the axis times the perpendicular component of the force which is responsible to generate this torque. Now come to this point. See, this is the axis about which this force is trying to rotate, right? This force is trying to produce a turning effect. Why? But this force is trying to pull it. It is not. So this force is this component F cos theta does not produce any turning effect at all. The turning effect is produced by this perpendicular component which is F sine theta. So we will say that torque is equal to R times F sine theta, or to be precise, the distance of point of application times perpendicular force at the point of application. So we can define our torque like that. What about the SI unit? If we talk about the SI unit, this is meters, this is Newton, and this doesn't have any unit because sine theta is the ratio. So we'll say the unit is Newton meter, which if we talk about the dimension is same as energy because force into displacement. So that is the work or energy. So dimension is same as work and energy, but the unit is written here is Newton meter. We never write it to be joule. This is not joule, remember. So the unit of torque is Newton meter, not joule. Now let us discuss the next thing. Next thing is angular momentum. So now angular momentum of a particle about a given point is defined as L is equal to R cross P. So L is what? L is angular momentum, R is position vector, and P is what? P is linear momentum vector. So this is the relationship between linear momentum and angular momentum. So here also our linear and angular parameter are related using this formula. So if we know the linear momentum, we know the position vector, then we can use this formula. If we talk about the magnitude, if we just talk about the magnitude of angular momentum, then this is RP sine theta. So here again, this is my linear momentum. Linear momentum is nothing but m times v vector. So I'm just writing the magnitude mv. And what about r sine theta? R sine theta is like the perpendicular distance. So I will say magnitude of the angular momentum of a particle about a fixed point is equal to the product of its linear momentum, which is p, and the length of the perpendicular to the linear momentum from the fixed point. So that is length of perpendicular is nothing but r sine theta. But you need to remember it is r cross p. Since a vector cross b vector is not same as b cross a, so we can't say is R cross P will be same as, so this is not equal to P cross R. So here the order is important. This is a wrong thing to remember. So remember it is R cross P, not P cross R. So order is also important. Now we are going to discuss the work energy theorem for rotational motion. Now if we talk about, I am going to divide my board in two segments. One is here I am going to talk about translation parameters, and here I am going to talk about rotational parameters. So first is, how do you define work? Work in translation is defined as integration of F dot ds or Fs cos theta. Similarly, if this is a rotational work, see, you apply a torque. Here if we say that force equivalent is nothing but torque. In rotation, the equivalent of force is nothing but torque, and rather than displacement, you have a small angular displacement. So our same formula becomes integration of torque dot d theta if we are talking about rotation. If we talk about the work energy theorem, then work energy theorem is same for both translation or rotation, and it is work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Now here if we say that what is the work done? Work is force into displacement, given that angle is 0 degrees. So it is Fs is equal to change in kinetic energy. But if we have to apply the work energy theorem for rotation, then I am going to say that torque into theta is equal to change in kinetic energy. So this is work energy theorem for rotation and translation. So every parameter is same as that. All the formulas are exactly identical, except all the linear parameter has to be replaced with angular parameter. Now if we talk about relationship between torque and angular acceleration, then I would say that from work energy theorem we can say that torque into theta, that is the rotational work done in rotating an object, is going to give me change in kinetic energy. But which change in kinetic energy? Change in rotational kinetic energy. So here is the thing, if I know that what is the angle covered, theta is nothing but omega times delta t. We have already learned that theta is equal to, so remember this formula, theta is equal to, so basic omega formula I am applying, this is basically delta theta by delta t. So this is going to give me theta equals to delta theta, or theta is equal to omega delta t. So that is going to be angle covered. And what about the change in kinetic energy? So what is kinetic energy? If we talk about rotational kinetic energy, it gives me half I omega square. That is the formula for rotational kinetic energy. I need to get the change. So when I do that delta, so differentiate it. So I'll write delta k is equal to differentiation of this, which is half I. These are constant quantities, so they remains as it is in the process of differentiation. So half remains as it is, I remains as it is. And what is the derivative of omega square? It is 2 omega delta omega. And now that gives me, this cancels out and it gives me change in kinetic energy is I omega delta omega. And now if when I equate this, so here torque is torque, theta is nothing but omega delta t, and change in kinetic energy is I omega delta omega, which I am keeping over here. So when we keep it over here, we can cancel the omega from both the equation, and then we get torque is equal to I, and this delta omega divided by delta t. So that gives me torque is equal to I delta omega by delta t. Now what is delta omega by delta t? So change in angular velocity divided by time taken. Isn't that our angular acceleration alpha? So this gives me alpha. So torque is equal to I alpha. This is an important relationship to remember for rotation. So like F is equal to ma. Now this is similar to this relationship, as we have seen that torque represent the rotational analog of the force. I represent the rotational analog of the mass. This is the moment of inertia. This is the inertia. This is angular acceleration. This is acceleration. So since F is equal to ma, in same manner we can write torque is equal to I alpha, and this is an important relationship to remember. So this is the relationship between torque and alpha, which we are going to utilize for all the motion of rotational motion instead of F is equal to ma. So till now we had one equation to write F is equal to ma. Now for rotation we are going to utilize one more equation, which is going to give us torque is equal to I alpha. Now this is an important relationship, so you can remember it. I am star marking it. Let's move to next concept. So our question is, a wheel having a rotational inertia of 0.20 kg meter square rotates at 360 rpm about a vertical axis. What is the angular speed of the wheel when a torque of 1 Newton meter is applied about the same axis for 3 seconds? So see, what we know in this question is, we know that moment of inertia about the axis is nothing but 0.2 kg meter square. Then there is a omega is known. Omega is what? 360 rpm. So what is rpm? RPM is revolution per minute. One second, this is, so RPM is revolution per minute. Now one revolution is basically 2 pi radian and 1 minute per minute. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. So it will become radian per second. See, omega's SI unit is radian per second. So before you do any question, you need to convert. So 60 and this will be like 6 times. So we get 12 pi radian per second. Next given thing is that the torque. Torque is given to us. Torque is nothing but 1 Newton meter, which is already SI unit. Then if it is applied for 3 seconds, so time is given to us 3 seconds. And then they are asking that what will be angular speed of the wheel. So we will say that final omega is asked to us. What about initial omega? So initial omega is already given. So I am making it omega naught. So I have omega naught. I have omega naught. I need to get omega, and I have like torque and I have time. So if I get the alpha, I can apply omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. I have time also. So to get alpha, I can utilize the moment of inertia and the torque. So which relationship I can utilize? I can utilize torque is equal to I alpha. So let us utilize that. We already know that torque is equal to I alpha. So alpha is nothing but torque by I. Torque is 1 Newton meter and moment of inertia is 0.2 kg meter square. So when we solve this, we get 5 radian per second square. The omega naught is already given 12 pi radian per second. Time is given as 3 seconds and we need to get the omega final. So we can apply this equation, V is equal to U plus AT. Its rotational analog, which is omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. So omega is equal to omega naught, which is 12 pi plus alpha. Alpha is 5 and t is 3. So we get 12 pi plus 15 radian per second. This is the final answer what we get. Now let us move to next question. So next question says that the diameter of a flywheel is 1 meter. It has a mass of 20 kg and it is rotating about its axis with a speed of 120 rotations in 1 minute. So they are saying 120 rotations in 1 meter. So again omega has been given. The angular momentum in kg meter square per second is. So they are asking L vector. Now to get the L vector, I have mass. And this flywheel is, the diameter is given as 1 meter. So mass is basically 20 kg. The diameter is 1 meter. So we can get the radius. Radius is half meter or 0.5 meter. And now we will say that omega is also given. So omega is 120 rotation in 1 meter. So 120, each rotation is 2 pi radian and per minute. So that is 60 seconds. So 60 2za and we get 4 pi radian per second. Now they are asking us L. Which formula can we apply? We can apply L is equal to I omega. Omega is, we have already found omega. And what about I? This is a flywheel. Flywheel is a disc. And we know the disc has a, and one second, it is rotating about its axis. So about an axis, the disc moment of inertia is given by mr square by 2. So let us apply this I over here. So let us put this value of I over there and this omega value over there and let's get the answer. So we will say that L vector which has been asked is nothing but I omega. The magnitude of angular momentum is nothing but I omega. What about I? I is mr square by 2 into omega. Omega we already found, it is 4 pi radian per second. And what about mass? Mass was given as 20 kg into radius. Radius was 0.5 or we can say half, and square of that, divide by 2 into 4 pi. Let us solve this. So this and this is gone. So it is 10 by 4 into 4 pi, which gives me 10 pi. And what will be the unit? SI unit of angular momentum is kg meter square radian per second. So here we don't write radian. So kg meter square per second. Radian is basically a angle, so angle does not come in the unit. So SI unit of L is kg meter square per second, and answer is going to be 10 pi kg meter square per second.